Good afternoon and welcome to Monday Life. My name is Manuela Seiberth. I'm the founder and director at Auspire Immigration Australia. We are migration agents, lawyers and education agents and assist migrants with visa and immigration matters in Australia. As you can see, the title of today's live is Offshore Visa Options. So today we are talking about the Priority Migration Skilled Occupation List, PMSOL. So I'm just waiting for people to come online. Yes, wonderful. I'm already seeing the likes and the hearts. So please, once you join us here, please give us a like. So we are live on Facebook and we are live on Instagram, and we will also be sharing the recording on our YouTube channel later today. So please give me a like so that other people see that we are online, and also you have the option to share this live so that other people can also benefit from it, as well as you can comment. So how we communicate is, if you have questions and comments, then please put them into the comment box, okay? And I will try and get to your questions during the live. And if you are watching the recording, please put in the comments hashtag replay so we know that you're watching the recording. And still, feel free to comment. But of course, the difference is people who are joining me here in the live, they speak directly with me, okay? So they have the unique opportunity, like once a week, I give the opportunity to, hear me speak on a certain topic, that you vote for, and also to ask me your questions, and I answer your questions free of charge. So, wonderful. So as I said, today I'm talking about the winning topic, which is the Offshore Visa Options, PMSOL, so the Priority Migration Skilled Occupation List, because when was it? Last week we got news that the list has been extended. So it was back in, when was it? It was back in September. So in September 2020, I just have to sip of water. In September 2020, we had the first Priority Migration Skilled Occupation List with 17 occupations. So this is all because of COVID, okay? So Australian borders have been closed since March 2020 and counting. So borders are still closed. And yes, I know there's lots of discussions and rumors, and people think they have heard, a certain date of opening borders. At the end of the day, we don't know. So currently there is a lot happening within Australia. So there have been further outbreaks, unfortunately, and there is a few places currently under lockdown. So for example, for the first time in a long time, Northern Territory is actually in lockdown. They had a 48-hour lockdown and now it's extended for another 72 hours. So they are in lockdown for the whole week until Friday. And then we have a lockdown down in Sydney and also in Queensland. So that's where I'm based, in Queensland. We have restrictions coming in tonight, or tomorrow morning, 1 a.m. For 2 weeks with having to wear masks and so on. We've been really lucky in Queensland. So very rarely that we have to, that we do have restrictions. But anyways, so today's topic, the offshore, actually let me know the people who are here attending on the live, and also when you watch the recording, put in the comments, where are you located currently? So are you in Australia or are you outside of Australia? Let me know the city and the country. And I'm also, just because I can't see the comments on my phone, just looking up Facebook. Where is Facebook? Here we go. Okay, so there haven't been... okay, wonderful. We have Evelyn. She is in South Africa. Whereabouts in South Africa, Evelyn? I love South Africa. I was there in June 2018. So 2019, 2 years ago. And I did a round trip. I went from Johannesburg to Durban, Port Elizabeth, across to Cape Town. I was there for 4 weeks on a speaking tour. Back in the day when we were allowed to travel. It's now just really a memory. But yeah, I'm so grateful that I was able to travel in the past. Okay, so we've got May in the Northern Territory. We've got people in Singapore. Excellent. We've got Ella. Hi, Ella. She's in the UK. She's a regular. She's a very loyal participant and someone who is always watching our lives. Great. Okay, so back in September 2020, we got the first PMSOL list with 17 occupations, primarily in the health sector, so doctors and nurses. And last week, we got an extended PMSOL. So there was occupations added to this list, and now we have 41 occupations in total. And they are now also in different fields. So it's still predominantly health and medical sector. However, there's also no other occupations. And so what I can do, I mean, we did make a post pretty much everywhere. Like, we have a Facebook group, so this is really where from now on we put all, the brand new published information and news and breaking news into the group first. Okay, so join the Auspire Immigration Australia Facebook group. So we've got a page and we've got a group, and we are prioritizing the group. So you will see that once you join the group, there's a lot more information, there's a lot more going on. I post in the group more than I do on the page. And yeah, so definitely recommend to join our group. And we did do a post about the PMSOL last week when it happened. So what I can do is, with that list, I can just read out the 41 occupations, and shouldn't take me too long. I can take a break in between. Meanwhile, put in the comments, what is your occupation? Yeah, for example, are you an accountant? Are you a tradie? Are you an engineer? Are you a doctor? Are you a teacher? Are you a childcare worker? Are you an aged care worker? What else have we got? Are you a chef? So let me know in the comments, what do you do for work? Yeah, if it's too complicated to say what you do, then maybe just the field. Is it health? Is it logistics? Is it agriculture? Is it food? Hospitality? Yeah, let me know. Okay, so starting with the list. And I'm just going to start from the top, and then, like I said, I'll make little breaks in between, so you're not, so it's not too monotone. And like I said, I will also watch the comments. So yeah, we've got someone who is a welder. Welder is great. Welder is a fantastic occupation because we've got Evelyn, fitter general. We've got mechanical engineer. Perfect. We've got accountant. Excellent. Okay, so listen carefully, because I'm now reading out the occupations that are on the Priority Migration Skilled Occupation List, PMSOL. And the reason why, the title of today's seminar is Offshore Visa Options. So if you have an occupation that is on that list, and if you're currently outside of Australia, then there is a chance for you to apply for a visa and migrate to Australia. Okay, I will explain the process in a little while. And first of all, I will mention all the occupations that are on there. So listen carefully if your occupation is on the list, okay? Because if it's on the list, that means there's a good chance for you to be able to migrate, although borders are closed, okay? Because currently it's really hard to enter Australia if you're not already here. Yeah, if you're already here, it's different. But if you're outside of Australia, unless you are a direct family member of an Australian citizen or permanent resident, it is very, very hard to enter Australia. Okay. Yeah, we've got Ella. She's a weddings and events manager, a restaurant manager. Restaurant manager is also a really great occupation. There's also lots of visa options. Let's see if restaurant manager and events manager is on the priority skills list for offshore applicants. Okay, so starting off, Chief Executive or Managing Director, Construction Project Manager. So construction. Is anyone in construction here? We have accountant, so May is an accountant. Then we have management accountant, we have taxation accountant, external auditor, internal auditor, surveyor, cartographer, I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly. And then we have other spatial scientist. Then we're going on to the engineers. So we had here on Instagram, we had someone who is a mechanical engineer. So listen carefully. We have on the list civil engineer, geotechnical engineer, structural engineer, transport engineer, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer. So that's here our friend Dev Srisha, who is a mechanical engineer over on Instagram. So make sure that you message us, and then we can provide you with further information how we can assist you with that offshore visa. So where was I? Mechanical engineer. Then we're moving on to mining engineer, petroleum engineer, medical laboratory scientist, veterinarian, orthotist or prosthetist. They're quite difficult words to say because English is not my mother language. German, I'm German, and German is my mother language. So that's a little bit challenging. Then we're going on to the health practitioners and medical occupations. So we have general practitioner, resident medical officer, psychiatrist, medical practitioners, no else were classified, midwife. Then we got a whole lot of different style of nurses, registered nurses for aged care, for critical care and emergency, medical, mental health, and nowhere else classified. Then we have multimedia specialist. So multimedia specialist is quite a popular occupation. Do we have any multimedia specialists online today? Then further we have analyst programmer, and we have developer programmer, we have software engineer, software and applications programmers, ICT security specialist, that's the IT occupations. Then we have four more to go. ICT security specialist, and then we have social worker, maintenance planner, and last but not least, chef. And we just had someone comment on Facebook, Krishna is a chef. So Krishna, where are you located at the moment? Tell us where you are located. Are you where in Australia or outside of Australia? Let us know. Okay, so these are the 41 occupations. Yeah, Krishna is in Nepal. Perfect. So because this is the list for people who are offshore, so outside of Australia, including Nepal and all the other countries that we have. And for people who have this occupation, they can go through a visa process and then get the, possibility and opportunity to migrate to Australia. Okay, so the condition is, first of all, obviously your occupation needs to be on that list. Secondly, you need to have an employer, an Australian employer, to sponsor you on that occupation. Yeah, because this list is to help to rebuild the Australian economy. And for that, because we have a shortage of skilled workers in Australia, and the Australian government wants to support the Australian economy and the Australian businesses. And so they give an incentive to Australian businesses as well as to migrants from overseas to be able to enter Australia, although borders are closed and other people are not able to migrate. Okay, so only if you have the occupation on the list as well as an employer in Australia to sponsor you. And so, okay, first criterion is occupation is on the list. Tick. Let's just assume you have one of those 41 occupations. Second, you have an employer in Australia who is willing and able to sponsor you. Let's just assume this is also met. Tick. Then we go through the visa process. This is where we come in and we assist with the whole visa application. So we're working with employers as well as with individuals and do the visa process for both parties. And then the last step or the last piece in the puzzle is we need to apply for a travel exemption, because everyone who is entering Australia who is not a citizen needs to apply for a travel exemption, especially as part of this PMSOL visa program. Okay? Is there any questions? This is now the moment for you to put your questions in the comment box. I'm just going to wait for a moment. So Krishna is asking, how long does the 186 or 187 visa process take? Okay, so look, with regards to processing times, it is a little bit unpredictable because of COVID. And when things like that happen, like a lockdown in Sydney and a lockdown in Northern Territory and restriction in Queensland, and we don't know yet about the other states in Australia. But obviously that means then, people are working from home and it just slows the whole system down. And also because the Australian government then has, other things that they need to look after. But this is, the name of that list is priority. Okay, so that means they're making it a priority. And there's no point of an employer, an Australian business, needing, for example, a chef or an engineer or a doctor or an accountant, and then let them, do the processing for like years. So it is my understanding that once there is an applicant and an employer and the process has started and the application has been submitted, that there is priority processing. Because obviously the employers, they need the person, the migrant, as soon as possible. Yeah, so I can't really give you an exact number. It all depends on certain circumstances. Yeah, but once we start the process, we can work really quickly. Obviously, we need to gather all the documentation. So we need the documentation from the employer, and we also need the documentation from you as the applicants. And once we have everything, then we start preparing the applications. So there is a few steps that need to be lodged, a few different applications as part of the submissions. because there is certain applications that need to be done for the employer. And then the final step is the visa application that is for the applicants and their family members. Okay, so for example, Krishna, you said you are a chef. So your application would be obviously, for example, with a restaurant or with a cafe. And then, or a hotel, for example, you could easily work in a hotel, in a kitchen. And then we go through the process with your employer, and then lastly we lodge your application. And if you have family members such as a partner and children, they can be added to the application. Okay, so you can then migrate with your family. Of course, if you don't have a family, then there's no one to be added. And yeah, so I hope that answered your question. The visa subclasses eligible for the PMSOL visa, for the PMSOL occupations is subclass 4H2, subclass 494, and subclass 186 and subclass 187. Okay. So I see that there's a few questions about other visas. So visa subclass 309, which is the prospective marriage visa, which I know was one of the topics for today, but unfortunately it didn't get the most votes. So today, I'm on Mondays, I'm only talking about the topic that has won. Okay. Krishna, also with your question about the 491, that is a question for another live, or obviously if you don't want to wait for a live, or if your questions, if you can't wait for this question to be answered, then I definitely recommend to book in for a consultation. Yeah, so I have a team of migration agents and lawyers, and we do consultations with clients where we then go through the pathways, through the visa options, we explain the requirements, and then we answer all your questions as part of the consultation. Far, can you please put the link for the booking of the consultation in the comments, if possible, on both on Facebook as well as on Instagram? Is there any other questions in regards to the PMSOL and the employer-sponsored visas or the travel exemption? I'm going to wait for a little bit longer. Otherwise, we're going to keep it again short and sweet. And if there's no other questions, then I would go offline. And we stop the recording, we stop the live. And I'll see you next Monday. And hopefully we speak about a topic that takes your interest. Make sure that you vote. That's really important. Yeah, so to all the people who are asking me questions about other topics, Evelyn is asking something. Is a skills assessment and English test required also? That depends on the visa subclass. Okay, so there's certain visa subclasses that don't require a skills assessment. However, for all the permanent ones, all the permanent visas, they do require a skills assessment. It all depends also on your occupation. English test, yes. So for the visa subclasses that we talked today, you need an English test. Correct. And again, there is different requirements for the English test. And there's also different English tests available. So we've got the IELTS English test, the PTE English test, and there are several more available, but they're the two most popular ones. IELTS, IELTS, and PTE. Okay, I can't see any more questions. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Manuela Seiberth. I'm the founder and director at Auspire Immigration Australia, and I'm leading a team of migration agents and lawyers, and we assist you with visa and immigration matters. If you have more questions and if you need assistance with your visa and immigration, please book a consultation so we can assist you. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.